Twal Gualapu, Gualapu, Ti Disid, Siaya, Klabish, Titsta. We welcome you to our traditional lands. We call ourselves the people of the water. Today, we as Squaxin honor our ancestors by living within the 7 generations mindset. We, the people of the water, are honored that you are all here and for such an important, noble event.
This is a historic moment, as we've had several tribal nations gather together here. We will have representatives from each tribe here today coming forward to provide their testimony. It's not one voice that they're speaking for, but thousands. Not only are they representing themselves, but their tribal nations, and those that cannot speak, which is why we're here. The salmon and the orca, though they cannot be here, we're speaking for them because we do hear them, and we're hoping everybody else can hear them too.
Salmon is, of course, the major unifying factor between the tribes of the Pacific Northwest, and many of us in this room were raised on salmon. Also, a lot of politics around salmon that brought us together to allow us to not only fight for an opportunity to harvest, but also to manage.
My people have been without salmon for nearly a century. So you guys wanted an example of what you're trying to stop from happening. Here we are. This is what happens when the salmon are gone. And my people are relegated to getting fish out of the back of a truck.
You know, the Spokane tribe, we're like the Coeur d'Alenes, we stand in line to get our salmon out of a blue tote.
And it's a shame to see a lot of the tribes here today that don't have any fish.
On my birth certificate, it says Devon Owl Boyer. In our language, that's Munavich. It means messenger of death. I asked my grandfather why that was put on my birth certificate. He said, because that's what you are. Your time will come. In your time, you'll need to know this message. We're at that time now.
Our salmon are disappearing too quickly, and we can't wait for many years for them to help. Our elders tell us about a time when there was more salmon than our people could even eat. There was a time when no one in our tribe had to worry about whether we had enough fish to feed everyone.
The demographic risks that these fish face right now, you got one bad year like this, you have 2 bad years, you don't have anything left. So this is a very foreboding story. And it really is a call to do something different, something big right now. These fish don't have a lot of time left.
For Yakima Nation, protecting its natural resources is not an optional act of environmental advocacy, but an essential act of tribal self-preservation. The time for action is now.
We have to do whatever we can now, not kick the can down the road, 20 more years and study 20 more years.
We can save salmon and make the economy of the Pacific Northwest even stronger at the same time. We must implement plans which meet not only our needs, but the needs of our grandchildren and their grandchildren, and all residents of the Pacific Northwest, Indian and non-Indian.
We didn't want those dams to be on our waters. We didn't want the restructure of those rivers. We asked and asked over and over again. And I appreciate the fact that you are finally listening.
Believe it or not, you all inspire me to do what I'm doing. While you want to restore salmon for the same reasons I do, we shouldn't let them go extinct, but you're trying to preserve a history, a culture, and a religion. Everything we do on the Columbia River can be done differently. It's a choice we make. But it can be done differently. Salmon don't have a choice. They need a river. And guess what? Right now, they don't have a river. It's almost a misnomer to call the Lower Snake River a river. If you're waiting for consensus on removing the dams, salmon are gone. The reality is, it's just got to get done.
Raise your hands to Mr. Simpson for listening to us. Listening. Thank you. We appreciate that.
The proposal that Congressman Simpson has brought forward is addressing the truths to the problems that we all face.
America made a deal and promised that we would be able to fish forever. We can't fish if there aren't any salmon left. Something must be done to save our salmon.
My message to the United States Congress is that, you need to uphold your trust responsibility to Indian tribes.
To me, the science is clear. You've got to remove the dams.